Crimson Desert is only a few days away and it looks incredible. But after watching all the previews that we've been seeing and DRM appearing on the Steam page, there are a few things to be a little cautious about. Now, before I get into all those negative things, I do want to say that this seems like one of the greatest open world games that we've seen, at least in a very long time. I'm very hyped for this game and I'm excited to be jumping into it. The scale of the world is really ambitious and the combat looks really fun and engaging. So I just want to establish that before I start talking negatively about some aspects that I've noticed, so I don't seem like I'm hating on the game. I think that every game has areas where it can improve, and we should always try and push game developers and games to be better and better, especially as time goes on. Now, the first thing I want to mention is some pop-in issues. So I'll be showing some clips from here that show a lot of different pop-in, and I'll try to mix it. Some of the pop-in is a little bit further away, but there is a lot of pop-in that seems to be very close to the character. And we recently saw a Digital Foundry video where they mentioned that even on the newer cinematic mode, which by the way, the official developers have never actually shown us, all the things that we've seen were on ultra quality, but there's a mode above that, which is this cinematic mode. Going back on topic though, Digital Foundry did say that even in the cinematic mode, they still were able to see pop-in that I'm showing you guys here. Now, way before the preview event happened with all the creators and people started getting their hands on the game, we had one Digital Foundry tech preview for the engine that Crimson Desert is running on, and from that video I was able to see some stagnant NPCs. And I pointed it out as something that can potentially be a little bit of an immersion breaking thing in the game, you know, when you just see a whole bunch of NPCs standing around not really doing much. And now that more people have actually gotten their hands on the game, some of them have actually talked about it, saying that yes, some of the NPCs do stand around there, day, night, rain, whatever weather it may be. But obviously other NPCs also do move about and do other things. This one in particular isn't something that's make it or break it for me. I know for some people it's more important than others. I just thought that I'd point it out so everyone has level expectations going into it, knowing that, you know, they're not getting some crazy NPC behavior. Now, performance in general seems to be in a really good spot. They recently released all the specs that they have for PCs, consoles, even Mac OS, so it seems to me that the optimization is pretty good. However, one thing that can lower that is the use of DRM, which recently actually went on their Steam profile page. I'm gonna put up a screenshot here where you guys can see that it says it incorporates a third-party DRM. Now, just to kind of explain it really quick for those of you who don't know, it tries to help prevent people from actually being able to tamper with the game, but it comes with a lot of drawbacks. So the big thing is that it can slightly lower performance, which can be an issue, especially if you're trying to target the cinematic mode, that it seems to be a lot heavier, especially when you try and turn on ray reconstructions, which drastically improves the image quality. I'm gonna put some comparisons up on the screen for you here, and you can see from the Digital Foundry video that with ray reconstruction on a 5080, you are really lowering the frame rate that you're able to get compared to the ultra mode without any ray reconstruction on. So I'm not sure if this version of the game would be running DRM, but if it's not, you could expect to see a slight frame drop from it. Another big thing is that this game is a single player game, but DRM basically uses the internet to verify your game. And I believe the way it's done is like every few weeks, it'll basically verify your file. So you do have to at least come online with the game to verify it in that time period. So, you know, if you're trying to go offline for like a month, let's say, I don't think that would be able to happen. So while DRM aims to help prevent piracy and overall tampering with the game, it does punish a lot of legitimate customers, especially those who may not have easy access to the internet or they are already struggling a little bit with the performance in the game. This can make it a little bit heavier to run. Now, I touched on this briefly, but I just wanted to point out a really cool thing I saw is the ray reconstruction mode, which makes the lighting look so much more amazing. I'm just going to show a few examples that Digital Foundry was able to capture, and this is using all the same settings, just with and without ray reconstruction on, and I feel like it adds a drastic difference. And Digital Foundry had said in their video that to him it looks like the difference between ray tracing on and ray tracing off, and I do personally think it is that drastic of a difference. So once again, I wanted to say I am super excited for this game. Those are the main 3 things that I've noticed that could use a little bit of work, you know, especially the pop-in. Hopefully they can have some sort of fix. And there's also a lot of geometry. So you can see in a lot of these walls, just to show you here, some weird popping in and out on the 3D geometry, or especially around like castle walls or building walls, things like that. You can really see it. So hopefully this sort of pop-in issue they can try and get resolved before launch. You know, there's not really that much time left, but who knows how long they've already known about these issues. Performance will hopefully get better with a day 1 patch, game ready drivers from day 1 as well, and hopefully the DRM doesn't tank it too much. Personally, for me, the NPC issue or the DRM aren't major deal breakers. I would prefer if it didn't have any DRM and that it had Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 styled NPCs, but of course it is not necessary. It's just something that would be sweet. Let me know your guys' thoughts, what you think of the pop-in, what you think of the NPCs, what you think of the overall game, and what you think of DRM. Are any of these things going to prevent you guys from getting the game and playing the game? Is there anything else preventing you that I have not mentioned? Or if you're just going to go in and have a blast like me? I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.